This is WTF Podcast Episode 14. The podcast is now semi-current with reality, and as such I expect a sharp decrease in quality content and a stark increase in evil-like laughter. Maybe I'll muse about current events or mock something timely. Who can say? Somehow the inspiration keeps rolling right along. I'll chalk it up to the multiple views I've received on each episode. I was hoping I would languish in obscurity and mediocrity until I was long deceased. Quit patronizing me. November 5th, 11:05 p.m. WTF Non-Profit Newsletter 0. My friends, Hellfire Heathens, we're going Lucifer level legit. The cult of wielding the flower is an internal name and should only be used during cult services or when distributing generated revenue to decrown. The blackened bat I trained to tote parchment parcels deliver damn good news, which I will unsortedly share with us all. Hereby obfuscated cultish religious organization Church of WTF 501c3 tax-exempt status has been approved by the icy reviler servants of monetary hoarding and excessive accounting. Blessings be to their disdain for logical discourse on which simple orgs they align to public gain. Their inability to correctly calculate is our gargantuan grant. Now I can take my concentration and divvy it decidedly toward more dastardly goals. No longer will I be perturbed by percentages and percentiles, chained by calculator crunching, restrained by remainders, or being bothered by basic banalities because Big Brother behests bullion. It'll be simple. I just need to set up a few pretender positions within the cult, fill them with lackeys, and then do whatever I want anyways. After all, I'm the one in charge here, not my sister, not some democratically elected representative. It is my will alone that matters as Shadow CEO, or TGO. Okay, let's prototype a typical winging it endeavoring. President, Derek Crown, my cousin. Vice President, Devin Crown, a guy I played pool with. Governance, Delilah Crown, my niece. Finances, Daniel Crown, my pen name. Alright, I'm not exactly sure about any of the litigious implications or legal requirements of the thing I applied for and was granted by the governmental body of currency keeping, but I'm sure I can figure it out when it's necessary. They'll probably email me with a "you're being audited" forewarning of financial success up to 3 non-profit weeks before coming on down to the big showcase of G-Man defrauding. That'll give me and my lackeys of utmost reading comprehension and ability to follow basic rules and regulations ultimate time to Google TM search precisely the paragraphs we'll need to avoid total shutdown and sacrificial stupidity. These Benjamins frankly belong in my billfold, and I don't give a damned about hypothetical hypocritical hedonism. I'll ride this pony into the ground and hop off as its snout tills earth. After all, Derek Crown is to blame, not me. Please disregard most of this extraneous content that was erroneously entered into the church newsletter. You see, dear children of damnation, our editorial staff and volunteer villains are not the brightest crew, nor do they have the vigor or vacation time accrued to expend energy exacting egalitarian virtues. End newsletter 0. 10:53 a.m. With our tax exemption secured in the vein of non-profiteering, our focus can shine like a prismatically filtered, high-intensity, mode-switching laser beam bouncing erratically among several loosely secured tabletop super-reflective surfaces and beaming a path indirectly through the winding maze-like house of mirrors, and finally scorching a carbon-charred hole piercing the heart of a piece of printer paper as the words "making money" in 300-point bold, underlined, cosmic sans font daintily adorns the pulpily glued whiteness. Stop! Exploitation presently! Third, and particularly fourth world countries are rife with opportunities for harnessing the back of hard-working, technologically impaired, non-cult related heathens. We will mine deep their resources and extract the well-being of these cave-like dwellers and refine the love and happiness of their simplicity into ingots of tear-infused first world wealth. A quick, non-mandatory, and unprompted confession. I knew that my followers were far too destitute to ever consider purchasing the purchasing power-proving blood diamond truck sack, but that can change. We all have within us to alter our financial future. The WTF Corporation Articles of Confederation state, "What you give to the church will be returned 100-fold." Whether this dividend is paid in life-giving wellness or lottery ticket luckiness, who can say? Just believe and give, and certainly fortune will favor you. And if we borrow the bullion of our neighbor Neanderthals, I hereby promise to possibly trickle down the currency reservoir upgrades into your accounts of barely functioning fealty. Here's the plan. All cultists are ordered, Sued style, to make many alternate Facebook accounts focused on attracting mates from potential poor countries. Once you've lured them into a long-lasting relationship, use the marriage certificate to infiltrate their societies and observe the goings-ons carefully, documenting exactly what kind of exploitation would best serve their simple and internet-secluded lifestyles. When you've got the documentation, mail it to the church receiving address and I will dispatch clergymen and women to the local site and the robbing of their culture can begin. With our government-empowered certificate of laziness, who would ever suspect that we are an insidious bastard of a cuckoo laying our eggs into the nest of their motherland? November 6, 5:19 p.m. Dear pentagrammal pentagonist, soon our global gangrene will spread like a CTD to all corners of this cornerless globe Earth. Note, theoretical really, where's the proof? Reports from randy revilers are pouring in, regaling unrighteously the undomesticated damsels and anti-local amigos across the world and beyond all borders. One electronic message of appropriate sharing soared the electric highway to make its way into my Mistopheles mitts of search provider-provided electric mailing. Frederick Sarin, aged 157 years old, confusedly pens, "Oh man, I got a real live one on the hook here. It's a Nigerian princess named Abadskama, who is really interested in my family life, my social security number, and is sharing a ton of Yahoo TM images with me. Just $500 and she'll come see me. This was an amazing idea. Thanks, DC. Firstly, you are most welcome, Frederick. Chiefly, the $sign implies the bucks. Within the cult of WTF, redundancy will not be tolerated within the church. Something to keep in mind if you want to maintain that tenure, my wickedly aged man. Second, and more chiefly, damned right, D to the motherfucking C represent with excellent ideas that perk my cracker-shunning elitist parrots up and hooks them up with exotic cash-creating creatures. Wire her dry, local amigo. Please keep in mind that contraceptions are contra-cultic, and the tenets of redeeming damnation extols overpopulation. Boom those babies from your birth canals and expel unconstrained sociological problem starter fluid into the dark caverns of loose acquaintances and overly excitable, multiculturally enhanced computer scientists. Be sure to not waste potential clandestine mooncup-clad computerinas or computer Ricardos who may sate blood moon or other sacred-related sacrificial requirements. Don't be wasteful. Let the letters of lewdness and luridity continue to flow fluidly toward my unadorned boxes of either bat-delivered physical parcels or search provider-provided immaterial information. I'm still working out how to write a non-redundant conclusion to newsletters, so I'll sign off with a simple good evening and good night. Episode 14, End.